Thanks for coming to Twisted Granny Tarot Horoscope Tarot. Yes, this is a channel that uses a horoscope diagram to help tell what we believe is going to happen in your life, or it can happen. There, objects are there for recognition and for us to identify them and interpret them. Okay. Now, so the cards have been shuffled, blessed, and cut, and I've already prayed to all the entities that I know of that want us to do well. So, when I say us, I mean you too. I mean you and me. Okay. So, we'll continue, but first, I would like to give us a little, I don't know, heads up on what ancient history. That's what we all need, ancient history, because the current history isn't nearly exciting enough, right? So, this is Gemini for the month of March. And my friend Link publishes a calendar every year called A Year and a Day. And he likes to study antiquities. Let's call it that, antiquities, ancient pagan cultures. So what he's got to say here is, we might as well start with this one. St. Patrick's Day on March 17th. Green George Day. Got no idea what that means. Celtic celebrating the rebirth of the Green Man. Well, the Green Man is like the father of the forest. He's the father of the birds and the bees and keeps all the rabbits and the flowers blooming, that kind of thing. And it's also, on the 17th, a 2-day feast of Aphrodite and Hermes begins. I think that's kind of a love thing, don't you? Okay, well, there's 2 separate incidences that occur on March 17th. Okay, so we're using a deck called, what is it called? The Fairy Tarot Cards. And it's written by Doreen Virtue, and the items are, the cards are drawn by a man named Radley Valentine. I think that's her favorite artist. So, we're going to start with the first house. The first house is what you're thinking about right now, okay? Well, it says 7 of Autumn. Autumn is Pentacles, that's money. So, money's on your mind, and 7 is probably a pretty good number. Have patience and don't worry. I'm reading what might be called an oracle card. And take time to rest and plan your next steps. Is that what you're doing now? Like how to get on vacation in July or August? Maybe. A prudent investment of time or money. So this is about money. And this has to do with your plans for it and how to use them to your best advantage. So that's what's on your mind right now, this says. Or if it isn't, maybe it will be now. Okay, second house is your own money. Oh, now we have, look at this. First card's about money. The second card is actually a card that's rated number 0, but there's by no means, this is a 0. And it's also, well, in the regular deck is called the Fool, but these decks were used in usage back in the 1300s and 1400s. So a fool just meant back then someone who had no experience. So this traveler called the Dreamer in this deck is embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure, and trust yourself. Because actually, what this person is doing here, he's out for a walk. He doesn't really have any destination in mind, and he's brought his little dog, and he's got his hobo bag, and if he doesn't look where he's going, he's going to fall off the cliff over here. He's going to fall off because his eyes are on the sky. So, when we're talking about your money, keep your head, well, you could keep your head in your clouds with your feet on the ground, okay? Because you could plan to make more money, you could plan how to spend it, and be aware that you hold your own life and your own financial security in your own hands. So try to make the right decisions. Gemini, you have so many ideas going on in your head. Oh, okay. Next one is the third house, which is communication. What do we have? The 2 of Winter, and those are swords. Well, wouldn't you know, swords governs communication. And this one says, oh, okay. It's a 2 of Swords. So there's one idea over here, and then there's another idea over here. What this card says is, indecision is holding you back. When did it ever not hold you back? Indecision. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Both of those are natural occurrences for y'all. You want to please others, and you want to do the best for yourself, really. But lots of times you will trade in what you want for kind words and kind gestures, and to preserve a relationship with somebody you like. Okay, so feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. Well, there you are. Is that a description of a Gemini? You all are incredibly intelligent. You are incredibly fun. Your ideas come flying in your head and around your head, and they can't be stopped. It's just your nature. So what this says is, what this card I would advise you to do is slow down just a little bit for just a little while. You could slow down for 20 minutes, would be good. And because it was slowing down and taking the time to examine various situations and examine what you think will be the best for you, rather than try to please others. So mom wants you to do this, your girlfriend wants you to do that, and your grandma wants you to do that, your kids want you to do something else. Okay? So it's a matter of feeling trapped between the emotional and the intellectual. Now, you certainly have roaring emotional talents, and you certainly have roaring intellectual talents. So slow down a little bit, and maybe you might want to pick yourself when it comes time to do something for yourself. Okay? All right. 2, 3, 4. 4 is your home, right? Yeah, your home. And up here is King of Summer. Those are cups, right? Yeah, cups. Now, how about that? Honorable, the King of Cups in this case, this card says, he's honorable, devoted, mature, and warm-hearted. So, but the copy here says, a romantic partner you can trust. How about that? So the thing is, it could be, if you're a woman, this is a man. But if you're a man, this is a woman. You want a romantic partner you can trust. Unless you don't want a man or don't want a woman. Excellent advice that comes from the heart. A romantic partner you can trust. Excellent advice that comes from the heart. Getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavor. So this is a new beginning for you in various topics. Getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavor. Cultural could be donating time at the local historical society, or donating time at the library, or donating money. Well, however you like to move around a lot, so I bet you'd rather be moving around than just donating money. Okay, or creative endeavor. So you want to act, you want to sing, you want to be on videos. Those are performance arts that you can participate in. So now, because this is a face card, I'm going to pick out another card, and it's going to call it a modifier. Oh God, now we got another one. This is another, well, let's see, do you have one? Yeah, you've got one card that's a major arcana. Here's the second card, a major arcana, and it falls on the King of Cups, or Summer here. Success, the Chariot. Success comes from dedication and self-discipline. Sweet, 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 wonderful Geminis. Are you hearing that? Dedication and self-discipline. Good luck with that. Okay? Celebrating your accomplishments and being in the spotlight. I think you kind of like that. Now, that's not what I ever get from having the Chariot in my hand when I'm reading cards. That's what this one says. The Chariot is there's always a chariot. There's always a person in the chariot. And usually the chariot is pulled by 2 horses. Well, in this case, they're pulled by 2 dragonflies is what it looks like to me. But these are the fairy cards, so that's why they're a little bit different. And celebrating your accomplishments. So I would also include that there could be a choice between 2 situations at home. Each one may be equally as important as the other. Because there are 2 of these big ideas here. In the regular card deck, 1 horse, or in this case, 1 dragonfly wants to go that way, and 1 dragonfly wants to go that way. And this person is actually holding the reins. So she may have a little bit more control than some people who are not holding the reins when they're in the picture. So celebrate your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. I'd still say watch out for decisions. Okay, that's what I'd say. Watch out for decisions that come up that you may feel inclined to to exercise. Please be aware that it's a good idea to pick the right one. How do you know it's the right one unless you pick the wrong one, you know? So stay together, stay collected, and stay on a path that's going to bring you the most joy and probably money. Okay? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth house is romance and creativity. We got the autumn card here, and it is pentacles. So that's money. So 5 of pentacles is what that is. Rush out to others for assistance. That's what the card says. Poor timing for a career change. Ah, did you hear that? So they're warning you against, well, changing horses in the middle of the stream. Let's call it that, since we got a chariot on the other side. Feeling challenged by money issues. Oh, really? Well, because money. Okay, so this card has to do with taking care of your money and being careful with your money, and make sure when you spend it, it's going to be for the good of yourself and for other people. Okay? You probably have plenty of things you would like to buy for the people you love. And there might be plenty of things you yourself need. You might be able to manage it all. Okay? Okay, 6th house is romance. No. Oh, work and health. Now, why what are the, I forget the name of the tribe. They chose to name this card the house of work and the house of health. Now, I don't know why they put that together. But they did. And right here, we have another money card, the Prince of Autumn. Now, this is somebody who's dependable and chivalrous, and he handles money. And he's almost warning you about situations that cost you money, but that are unworthy of your time and attention and cash. Okay? Cautious but wise action. Meticulous attention to detail. How are you with that? And kindness to others. So air signs may be pay attention to detail, but some of us are big picture people, and you have to have somebody else look at the details for us. But kindness to others. Well, this prince is offering good advice. Let's see what the advice is, because this is another face card. So I'm going to pull out this one, and it says the 8 of spring. So spring, I think, is hang on, wand. So that's that's the business. Wands governs business. So 8 of spring, stress that comes from having many things. Are you telling me you got too many things? Oh, too many things happening at once. That could give you stress, but that's kind of a tangle that Geminis find them in and air signs find them in, because they're so talented and they want to do everything they possibly can do, if they can do it. Successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. So, cautious but wise action. Okay, successful, sudden. So be prepared for a decision you make to do a switcheroo. Okay, he's going to do a switcheroo. And kindness to others might mean you're multitasking kindness for others, and it causes sudden events or changes. Okay. 7th house is marriage partnerships and business partnerships. And what does this say? What this says is a 13, the number 13 on the major arcana. Oh, don't tell me. Is that the devil card? Oh dear. I got to do this. Sorry. Now, don't worry about it if it's a devil card. It's a death card. Okay, so what that means is something's going to change. Some situations are going to be over and done with, and you're going to move on, let's say. So it is a death card, release. So what happens when you die? You release your hold on the world down here. Let go of the past. So, kind folks, if you're in the 7th house and you're sensing an end to a partnership, An ending that makes way for new opportunities is what this card says. However, everybody knows that if this is an end of a romance, that it will be a terrible blow, or maybe it won't be such a terrible blow, but it could be a terrible blow, and it takes a long time to get over that. And time to move on. So if you're willing to abandon your relationship to start over, then it may happen fairly soon. Or you may be in the midst of it right now. And the ending it, though, if it's not perfect, or it's not close enough to perfect to give you hope for better, then it might be time to release yourself from another person, or even a job, or even a company, a talent, whatever your talent is in your work life, because it says here, time to move on. So you might not do anything fast. You might want to think about how you're going to handle this separation, or if you're going to hang out for a little while longer and then make your decision, because there's really no timeline on this kind of a thing. It could happen sooner or later, just a matter of when you feel able and have courage to make the break. Okay? Okay, 8th house is money from other people. Money from other people. Now we got another major. This is big stuff happening for you, Gemini. This is the 1, 2, 3rd card of the major arcana. These are like destiny cards. That's a lot. Okay. Change the way you're looking at the situation. Really. And the 8th house, this is money from other people. Money from other people means insurance checks, inheritance checks, lawsuit checks, income tax checks, those kinds of things, and bonus checks. Although I would think that you earned that money, but for the sake of tarot cards, we have to say you didn't earn it. They gave it to you. Yes, you did. Okay, so change the way you're looking at the situation. So whatever is going on in your house of money from other people, embrace your new uniqueness, a temporary pause. Okay, so it says temporary pause in the action, and you may be expecting a bonus check or a lawsuit or even an inheritance check. And it might not be the amount you were imagining. It might not be the amount that you were imagining. It says it's a temporary pause there. Well, if it is an inheritance check, then it may take time to go through probate and that kind of situation. So we just have to muddle through and wait and see what happens at the end. They might not, the lawyer may or may not tell you what your share is. That's out of my purview at the moment. Okay. If you wanted that clarified, you can comment in the comments and we can talk about that on another day. It's just up to you. Okay. 8th house. 9th house is philosophy, religion, higher education, and long distance travel. Now, higher education and philosophy and long distance travel and spiritual studies, all those topics you are interested in because you're curious about everything. Curious about that country, curious about that factory, curious about whatever you want to be curious about. You are just a curious person with a good nature who can talk about his or her plans for the future and your goals and peer into other people's, well, let's just say you want to know what it's like to live in France. You might go live in France. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but some people might go to live in France just to see what it's like. Now, what this card is a Princess of Spring. So this is, Spring is cups, right? No, Spring is wands. So this is a person who is, wands governs business. So, optimistic, enthusiastic, creative, and energetic is what the Princess of Wands or Spring. Those are her major traits. It's time to go after your dreams. Are you hearing this? Are you ready? Are you really want to? Now look, if your rising sign is Gemini, I can definitely say yes, because there are all kinds of things going on in the astrological world that can lead to success, which means that now is the right time to pursue some of those activities: philosophy, religion, higher education, and long distance travel. Travel you love, because you're seeing new things, talking about new things, discovering new things. You don't like to be bored at all. Okay, let your creativity take flight. So are you planning on a big vacation? Does anywhere say you can't take the money to do it? This says on your third house, indecision is holding you back, feeling trapped in between the intellectual and the emotional. So your intellectual mind probably wants to take a vacation, and your emotional mind says, I need to stay home and do X, like add on to the house, or whatever it is, or move, or something like that. It's going to be kind of a battle, and I hope the decision you make makes you happy. Okay, because it could be either one. Okay, this is a princess, so now I have to have a what you call it card. Meaning, what the heck? Okay, it's time to go after your dreams. Do something that lets your creativity take flight. Okay, I'm sorry. I had some technical difficulties. Okay, on top of that is the 8 of summer, the desire for a more meaningful life. That might become, depending on how old you are, the younger Geminis are in life for the adventure of it. Older Geminis, after they've had their fun, they want a more meaningful life. They want to have the ability to make something of themselves and remember it and help other people. Okay? The desire for a more meaningful life, realizing that it's time to move on. This is another one saying move on. Choosing to make major life changes. Okay, kids, are you prepared for that? This is your warm-up period. So let's pretend. Let's pretend you bought a ticket and you're going to Europe. And you're going to take a tour. And while you're on this tour, you're going to see how other people live in other countries. And that's going to really intrigue you. And you might just decide to yourself, well, I don't want to live in so-and-so anymore. I don't know. I'm not going to degrade any cities, but some people will say, I don't want to live in Cleveland anymore. Oh, so the trip that you take this summer might clear your head up enough so that you come back knowing what you want to do now. Because sometimes you have to step away from your life and do something else while the problem you have gets rearranged up here and gets solved. So it's possible that could happen. And that might be a good way for you to reorganize your life. I'm not suggesting it should be a fantastical or a fantasy. It should be realistic for you. And I hope you get what you want. Because this is you're at the precipice. You're ready to, turn left or right and shift gears and take off. So, and as far as I know of astrology, this is the year to do it. This is the year to start, okay? Because it's going to last for several more years after that. Woo-wee! Good for you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Okay. 10th house is your career. Oh, you got this. This is like your fairy godmother. This is like your spirit guide. This is like the person who talks to you when you're in bed at night and you're getting feelings about various topics and subjects. She's your telepathic communicator. Now, you communicated a lot. And if you tell me that you don't, I'll just say you just don't know when you are, because it's so natural. It comes right in. So this says trust it. In your house of career, are you ready? Are you listening to this? Trust your intuition. Careful reflection before taking action. That's why you need to go on that trip. You don't need to go on a trip, but you need to go somewhere so you can think about something else while the other side of your head solves your problem. Now, I don't know if surely you've discovered that when you've done everything you could possibly do about a problem, then all you can do is what I used to tell my kids: chop wood and carry water, and do that until the problem solves itself. Because when you take a run, by the time you get back, you will have figured out your solution. it happens that way a lot because you concentrate. What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be doing? You can't get an answer. So just leave it alone. Go for a run. Come back home and it'll be, oh, I could do that. Now you know how I know that, right? Okay. Insights that come through meditation. Now you can meditate on it if you want to. I'm not a good meditator. I go to sleep. So, but running does help, and taking off and forgetting about the whole situation for a day can be an improvement of what you're suffering through now. So hot diggity dog, you need this person up there because she's going to whisper in your ear thoughts that you're too afraid to act upon. Really? She's going to whisper in your ear, and you're going to say, oh, I can't do that. Oh, no, that's stupid. Why would I do that? Well, just wait. Just let it sit there and cook inside your head. Bubbling, what's it called? Double bubble, toil and trouble. Wasn't that Shakespeare? Anyway, you're getting a big opportunity here. Be careful with your choice. That's all it means. It doesn't have to be wrong. You should, and the high priestess is your gut talking. Your gut is never wrong. Okay? Your gut's never wrong. So do what your gut says. Okay. 11th house is, I got a queen card here. The Queen of Wands. Or spring, as they call it on this deck. It's your 11th house of, long-term plans. And I'm going too long here. Long-term plans and friends. Friends. Queen of Spring. Brilliant, loyal, talented, friendly. Believe in yourself. So not only are you supposed to be following your gut, you're supposed to believe you can do it. Wonderful people want to help you. You hear this? Wonderful people want to help you. You're going to have help. In this transition you're fixing to make. Maintain a balance between work and home life. Well, try that. You could try that. You could try real hard to do that. I hope you're successful. Sometimes, it's most of the time either one or the other. I don't know why. Just cause. Okay, so girl or guy out there, hot diggity. Okay, so this is a face card, so I'm going to put another one. Oh, no, this is the moon. Powerful, all right. Powerful, intuitive epiphanies that the high priest is whispering in your ear. Because this is more gut intuition. Okay, letting go of worry and fear. Try that when you're switching careers or switching jobs. Understand the truth of a situation. So you need to analyze this situation. It's probably have to do with a job, but it doesn't have to be a job. You could decide you're just moving across the country because you want to and you can't stand it here anymore. Okay? And if you don't know where to go, your intuition and your gut are going to tell you. So just play in the double bubble, toil and trouble. Mix it up in that cauldron and see which idea you like the best, that feels the best to you here and best to you here. Whew, Gemini, you are awesome. Okay, 12th house is what you think about. It's what you think about when you go to sleep at night. Now, so far, this is the Emperor card. So far, he is never a nice guy. So you go to work, you go to sleep at night and you worry. And that's the number one thing. The Emperor, and other readers say, he is the person, like a teacher you had in high school who handed your homework back every day and said, do it over. Now, it's not going to take much to hate that guy, right? So he's an unkind person, and he's got problems with his ego, you know what I mean? Anyway, it says here, use logic and structure. See how well my downloads are working? Okay, use your logic and structure to increase your success. Get organized. A firm but compassionate leader. So far, I've never had the word compassion in the same sentence with the Emperor, but is this what whatever her name is wants to do? Doreen Virtue. And okay then, get organized. A firm but compassionate leader. So listen. So what this is helping you do is, well, you know what? You can solve a lot of problems with your dreams. You can even ask your family members or somebody who loved you that has already passed. You could ask them to help you with your decisions, especially about these last three houses, 10, 11, and 12. Oh my God, because they're all three got major arcana energy. These are destiny cards. So you need some help from the other side? Ask. They cannot help you. Your relations who loved you when they were here are willing to help you from there, but you have to ask them because they're not allowed to help you unless they're requested to help you achieve your goal. So good for you. I cannot tell you how great this is. Keep moving. Keep thinking. It might not happen tomorrow. This might take, because this is major, but you know, you've probably been thinking about these kinds of things for months now. And apparently, I'm going to say you're getting close to the end of making a decision. Okay? Now, what is this one? Prince of Summer. That's another face card. Falling in love suddenly. Wow, this would indicate to me that you're going to make a decision. It's going to be pretty fast. You're being swept off your feet. Now, be careful with that one because you really want to trust your intuition and your gut, not your getting lifted off your feet. The need to stay grounded. During a very emotional experience. Whoa. So you're having an epiphany. It's what you're doing, having an epiphany. But you need to come out of the glory of the surprise opportunities and realize that you have to walk on this world today. Okay, now, because that's a face card, I've drawn up 9 of Summer. Wishes. It's a good thing I picked this deck. Wishes come true. Dreams fulfilled. A magical time of life. 9 of Summer. Oh, I know what that is. In a regular deck, it would be the face of a person. And he or she is all happy and smiling and gloriously joyful. And he's got 9 full cups behind him. The cups are gold, so that indicates money. The cups indicate a vessel of love, because cups embody love in the tarot world. So kids, wow. I hope you all write to me and tell me what happens, because now you got me curious. I'm really, 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 really excited for y'all. Mwah. Thanks for spending time with Twisted Granny. I appreciate it. I'll stay twisted, and I hope you come back next month. Okay, tell me all about it. All right, love you. Bye.